So Konami allegedly hired a private investigator to investigate whoever leaked a photo of a card before it was officially spoiled. So for those of you guys that are not aware, a couple of weeks ago, somebody posted in Zodiac Duelist, the Facebook group, a picture of the Mimigul Fork card. Somebody got access to the set early and they leaked a Spanish photo online of the card. Now this followed up by other people sharing it across social media, and somebody shared it on Reddit. So allegedly the private investigator that Konami hired actually caught wind of this and started messaging whoever was sharing the picture over Facebook, Reddit, any forms of social media. Now, to give some more context on why this is actually a big deal is that it's not the first time it's actually taken place for a trading card game where they hired a private investigator. Last year, there was actually a big, huge debacle where Wizards of the Coast actually hired Pinkertons to show up at the door of someone who got access to a set early and opened it on a video. And for those of you guys that are unfamiliar with Pinkertons, they are actually a group of private investigators that have been known to be very aggressive and also intimidating in the past, being a part of a lot of key historical events where they actually started some riots. And one of the Pinkertons actually showed up at this individual's door and basically threatened / intimidated them to returning the cards, saying that there'd be legal action and other repercussions. And basically said, hey, we know you have some product that's confidential. Here's what's gonna happen. You're gonna have to give this back to us or else.
Dogs started barking because somebody's knocking at the door, and my wife's answering the door, and it was the Pinkertons.
Now, this also happened in Pokemon, where the Pokemon company basically hired a private investigator to set up a sting operation alongside a store owner after someone allegedly stole a bunch of Full Art EX cards directly from the factory production line and tried to sell them. So I guess since both Magic and Pokemon did it, it was only a matter of time before Yu-Gi-Oh joined the party, and that's exactly what happened here. But the only difference between the Magic the Gathering situation and the Pokemon situation was that the Magic the Gathering YouTuber was sent the product erroneously by someone who messed up from Wizards or the supply chain, whereas the Pokemon was obviously a thief who actually stole cards from the production facility. Now, for the Yu-Gi-Oh matter at hand, this person was actually contacted through Facebook by an alleged private investigator who actually was asking a lot of questions and trying to figure out who the heck actually leaked this card. And they actually made a post saying, since the new TCG exclusive card Mimigul Fork was officially revealed during today's stream by Konami, I can now feel safe sharing this story with you. On September 11th, I was contacted via Messenger by someone wanting to buy the leaked card that was making its rounds. I picked up quickly that this was a private investigator hired by Konami, but I played along aware of my innocence. Now, bear in mind, this was not the original poster of the photo of the card in Zodiac Duelist. This was just somebody else that decided to share the photo who the private investigator contacted. Although he did his job horribly, he revealed the then unconfirmed English name of the card to me. I still want to respect the job in the investigation, even if it has ended. So whoever this private investigator was, they obviously had zero knowledge of Yu-Gi-Oh! Period. They inadvertently leaked the English name of the card to this person. You know, like the photo was Spanish, so they didn't actually know what the English translation would be. And you can see here in the conversation, he says, "Hi, I saw your comment on the new Mimigul 4 card that has been leaked. Where did you find the original posting? Do you know if this card is maybe for sale?" Private investigator presses on. He says, "I would really like to buy it off of you. Could you remember who commented it?" Asking a lot of questions. It's obvious this person does not really understand Yu-Gi-Oh in general, but they are asking a lot of suspicious questions. And then the OP actually says, "I comply with the investigation, sir, but that's the extent of my knowledge." And this actually causes the investigator to leak his cover. He says, "I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm actually a private investigator and I am investigating the leak of the card. I need to know who made the original post of the playing card. My suspicion is that you are the one who has the original card." And the private investigator just refuses to believe that the OP is not the actual person who owns the original card. I mean, a Spanish card, hello? Nope, they actually think that the OP is the person who leaked this card because they press on even more, saying, "But you were the only one that had an issue with the blur and posted the original one. The time frames determine you were the first with the original. Now show me a post from an earlier time frame without blur and then we will believe you." Really interesting to see that it suddenly goes from a questioning, curious perspective to one that's more, intimidating, almost aggressive, trying to push, as if there are hidden consequences behind this. If you don't tell us all the answers, there might be consequences for you. So the OP is like, what I have is a photo that made its way onto Facebook. I have an earlier photo, but it's blurry. The image I shared with you is a screenshot, not an actual photo that I took of the physical card because I don't actually own the physical card. Hello. This is the earliest version version that I have, I didn't know at the time that a clearer photo existed. The discussion was that the text was difficult to read. And you know, at the end of the day, when I saw this, it was already all over Facebook. Everyone knew about it. Somebody made the post, but it was not me. So then, of course, the OP goes back on Reddit and makes a post saying, hey guys, you know, a private investigator has actually been hired by Konami and is making his rounds trying to find out who actually leaked this card. So obviously this private investigator didn't exactly do his due diligence to see exactly what the heck was happening in this situation, but they also went on, as we mentioned earlier, to message a bunch of other individuals across Twitter, across Reddit, on Facebook, wherever basically they could find an image of the card that was shared by somebody. They even joined the Yugioh group with their real Facebook, quote unquote, their real account that somebody could literally click on and say that they were employed as a private investigator. And then from there, people were able to find their LinkedIn as well, their professional profile and portfolio of private investigative work, and were able to confirm that this was actually a real private investigator, not just someone sitting at home on their laptop trolling the Yu-Gi-Oh community. Also, this hasn't been confirmed, but somebody in the Twitter thread actually claims that this private investigator showed up to someone's door to physically question them about this card. Now, the general feedback from the Yu-Gi-Oh population is that this private investigator was not super professional and was just being overtly aggressive, you know, basically trying to grill and intimidate anyone he could get his hands on. People really hate the idea of a private investigator being involved in any aspect of this game. But at the end of the day, I guess the moral of the story is to not have any leaks and definitely not share them anywhere on the internet. Konami even recently went as far as to update the policy, saying that even possessing any product that you're not supposed to, product that has yet to be released officially, is against the rules and you can get punished for it. And there's actually a rumor that surfaced on that same Reddit thread saying that Konami in the past has actually hired security guards to pretend to be players to try and coerce people into buying and selling their cards so they could catch them red-handed and then escort them out of the venue. So again, buying and selling is prohibited at larger events because they have vendors. Obviously, it makes sense, you know, you don't want to undercut them. But it's still kind of crazy to see that they're actually taking this extra step and going the extra mile. I don't know if this is true or not. This is just a comment made on Reddit. But you know, at the end of the day, it's their game, so we definitely got to follow the rules that they set. You definitely don't want to get embroiled in any sort of private investigator shenanigans or anything to do with the law, because it could get really messy. So, I mean, there have literally been Yu-Gi-Tubers who have gotten banned for multiple years in the past for sharing cards that were already leaked online, for simply making content on the leaked cards before they were officially revealed. So it's definitely something you do not want to get involved in unless you want a one-way ticket to Banville. Overall, I just thought it was really interesting to see that this is actually happening in Yu-Gi-Oh now. We previously saw it happen in Magic and Pokemon and other games, but you know, Yu-Gi-Oh also has to protect their IP, right? Konami is really sensitive about private details like this, and especially leaks. So just be careful. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts about this as a whole. What do you think about Konami hiring a private investigator to knock on your door and question you, or even sliding into your DMs on Facebook or Reddit to ask you about an image that you might have shared on social media? Either way, it seems that even sharing the post can now get you in trouble, so definitely don't share any leaks in the future. Anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks a lot for tuning in. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.